Hi everyone, Sonic Show Jaden here, and long time no see. We got a lot of Sonic Movie 3 stuff to go over, as throughout these past couple weeks, from behind closed door screenings to leaks and releases of products giving us new details and hints, we now have a big chunk of good and bad news about Sonic Movie 3, as well as the cope from the fan base around all the info coming out regarding the trailer, something that many expected to see July 26, but what fools you all were. Also, to quickly apologize for the lack of uploads, I've been busy working on 2 different games, one which is a mobile title and made great progress, as well as this big investigation video which is coming out next, and to be honest has been a massive mental and physical toll with all the research and evidence that has to go into something like that if you want to be responsible. So after that drops, I promise I'll be uploading frequently again. So with that, let's just get into the news roundup. Drop a like because it actually helps. Double check your subbed and notifications to all because I only upload when there's stuff actually worth covering. And now let's kick things off with what everyone wants. Some updates to where this trailer is, which, according to this tweet from Sonic One News, the registration info shows this film is expected to complete around November. So if you've heard rumors about people seeing the full film already, while they actually may be true, especially if they're from production, what they are seeing is not the finished product. There's still unfinished visual effects and sound design, as well as anything else that, of course, hasn't been finished or needs to be reshot still. So any early screenings production staff have reported seeing, or the short clips being shown to audiences that you might hear about, are from this not fully finished version. So keep those expectations in check, and remember, good things come to those who wait. Now, we'll get into all the render and super shadow info and all that stuff later, but I want to get to the bottom of this. Let's talk about where this trailer actually is. Well, we've received a lot of trickled down information from a lot of people, including Tyson Hesse himself weighing in on the whole situation, but many of you may have heard what was posted by a supposed leaker named Daniel RPK. He said we'd be getting the trailer sometime in July, probably hoping to get something from Comic-Con, and well, that obviously didn't happen. But as of literally today, the day recording this, he's now saying, wait guys, actually, the trailer will come out sometime in August. Daniel, your credibility took a nosedive, my friend. Unless you come out with some big exclusive soon, it's over, kiddo. Now, for something like Sonic, with the demographic and audience that pulls in, Comic-Con really was the perfect platform to have a live audience go crazy at a reveal, and they sort of dropped the ball by not having literally anything there. Comic-Con announced Avengers stuff that I might not even live to see on the big screen, but the movie that's less than 5 months out can't get as much as a 10-second teaser? Now, I have seen a lot of people speculate and allegedly leak, although I haven't seen any sources, that the Sonic Movie 3 trailer will actually be shown at Gamescom. But again, nobody with a significant reputation has reported this, and you also have to consider that it is true that Sega has a history of revealing stuff at Gamescom, and Sonic Movie 2's trailer was revealed at Jeff Keighley's Game Awards, so it's not impossible or even unlikely that they would reveal a trailer this significant at a gaming event, especially considering it's quite literally their exact target demographic for a video game movie. Now, at the same time, you also have to keep in mind this is a movie, and because of that, it's going to have a very different marketing format than a video game, so it's also just as possible that there's going to be nothing there. We're only going to get indications either way once we get a bit closer to the event, which Gamescom takes place late August, so we'll have to wait until then to find that out. Now, while we don't have a full trailer, and don't worry, nobody's seen one, so it's not like we're missing out, there are teasers that are starting to roll out, and one in particular was recently shown at a film event called Cine Europe, which was reported to be extremely short. And since it's a closed-doors cinema event, where the entire point is to show off movies, it's obviously a no photos or video situation, meaning we still haven't seen as much as a single frame of this film, something that while I would have liked to have gotten at least a small teaser, I also have to respect how they're doing a surprisingly really good job this time around, keeping basically everything about this movie hush-hush. It's like Paramount's giving us a striptease, but instead of dollars, we're throwing around theories and speculation. I know, that was a pretty corny joke. I told my wife that too. So what exactly did they show at Cine Europe? From what we've gathered, it wasn't a full trailer, but more of a sneak peek. A montage of high-energy scenes, quick cuts, and just enough action to keep you interested. Think Sonic racing through a cityscape, Shadow brooding in the shadows, pun intended, and a supposed few glimpses of new characters, but everyone who went to the event was a professional, and most are doing a good job keeping it hush-hush too. Cine Europe is known for giving industry insiders a taste of what's to come, and this sneak peek did exactly that. But, you know, not for us, since we didn't get to see it. And the biggest Sonic 3 stories are yet to be covered still, as I have a lot left to go through. But first, here's some quick words from the people helping pay my rent, since I haven't uploaded in a month. This video is sponsored by the product gently and softly cradling my little fella, MeUndies. That's right, I've tried a lot of different underwear, and even my favorite premium brand of aren't as comfy as these. The fabric is cooling, which is surprisingly useful in this hot summer, and they have a lot of fun designs. And that's exactly what someone like me needs. I have no fun in any other areas of my miserable existence, and the only thing keeping me together and protecting the safety and lives of all those around me is my pair of MeUndies S'mores boxer briefs. There's a pair with sharks and flamingo floaties, this cool textured teal one, I actually like this a lot, and they have solid color options if you're a boring person who hates fun. They're extremely comfortable because they use high-quality fabrics like Micromodal and Breathe, which both have a ton of pros and are really good. And the best part is they support me, so by supporting them, you get a good product and support my sponsor. Get 20% off your first order, plus free shipping at MeUndies.com/Sonic. Thank you, MeUndies. Now, to the Sonic news. Now, for the last bit of talk on, you know, where the trailer is, before we get into, frankly, the more interesting stories about Sonic Movie 3, we first have an update on the trailer situation from Tyson Hesse, the macho Mega 64 man behind Sonic's redesign, and this comes via a forum which appears it's for mostly salty millennials, and Tyson had some words for the fans constantly pestering about where this trailer is and all the supposed info going around about bits being shown at expos, to which he responded to a random forum user who writes, "I do not understand why people are whining about a trailer not being out nearly half a year before the film is due. You'd have long forgotten about it by the time the film's out. I wasn't expecting anything until September. October, which is weird because, you know, movie trailers don't generally come out 2 months before the release date. Come on." To which Tyson responds, "It's because people think that there was some great trailer already shown to a bunch of people when there really wasn't. It was a handful of shots shown to theater owners and licensing partners. It was never meant to be seen widely because it's not a real trailer." Which I guess clears up some confusion, but in my opinion, and again, I haven't seen it reported by anyone, but I had zero impression that what was shown at Cine Europe and all these other events was any more than just a couple shots. I never thought it was going to be like a full trailer. That would be insane to show off a full trailer to privately and then to wait this long. That's like begging for a leak. Now, all that said, that's kind of what I want. Even a short teaser, or as he says, a handful of shots, are something that would be appreciative, and obviously they don't have to show anything because, let's be honest, we as Sonic fans aren't someone they really have to work hard to win over, but it sure would be nice to, you know, get literally anything from this movie. Just anything. Now, it's also interesting to hear from Tyson because the way this is worded makes me think it's not that some big trailer isn't coming super soon, but rather his wording indicates that this big trailer hasn't even been created or completed. So the non-stop pestering about releasing it when it doesn't tangibly exist is probably a bit tedious to hear all the time. Moving on from that, to get away from the movie trailer news, as that's it, folks. This is a story that literally just now got confirmed and also backs up stuff from the leaked storyboards, which got released a while back, and with the Knuckles show having come out, are like 8 billion times confirmed now. So there's a title card if you want to watch that. Just, you know, be aware there is spoilers in that video, and not in this one, by the way. No spoilers here, but there is some spoilers if you click on that, okay? Just be warned. Now, one thing that's not really a spoiler since it was super public and kind of obvious, who else is going to fight Supersonic, is we recently got a Happy Meals McDonald's toy, with one of the toys being of Super Shadow. And even as of recent, these posts didn't get that much attention in the first place, probably because it's kind of easy to bootleg a Happy Meals toy. They look simple and cheap, so there previously was no way to prove it was real. However, as of just now, they got copyright struck everywhere, and we all know if Paramount's swinging their very powerful, veiny legal hammer, you know the leak is legit. Now, the fact that this form is being kept under wraps so tightly by Paramount tells tells us they're not only saving something epic here for the film, but not to fret for those who are worried, who are like, oh, did I just get spoiled? No, you didn't. As just like how there was more than Tails and even Knuckles in Sonic 2 with the D-Egg robot, an insane inclusion. We already know from interviews that with this movie, the writer's staff have a lot of secrets and they don't just end with Super Shadow. In fact, I'd say they begin there, especially if you watch the storyboard video. Man, this it's crazy. And moving on, speaking of the secrets this film is hiding, here's something significant to chew on. A new Jakks Pacific 4-pack of figures got posted in Italy, and it mentions 2 unconfirmed characters besides Sonic and Shadow, which, if it were Tails and Knuckles, they'd likely just say it. So, who the hell are these mystery characters? Could it be Amy Rose, who some people seem to think will not be in this movie, with others, about half, thinking she will? And there being a very popular theory with some solid evidence going around that Kristen Bell will be playing Amy. Kristen Bell could definitely fit in the role of her, and if you consider that she kind of has that higher, more like girly, excited voice, as well as all the name recognition she has and a huge portfolio of projects, she's even friends with Mark Rober. And one of the main reasons I say Kristen Bell isn't because like I'm a huge fan of her. Not that she's bad or anything, okay? You know, we love The Good Place. But a user made a poll of like different people being the voice of Sonic and put Kristen Bell on there. And then for some reason, Kristen Bell blocked this user, which even they think it could be tied to an NDA. They don't know why it happened. And unless she got triggered and has some deep-seated hatred of Sonic the Hedgehog, I don't see why else she would block this user over their poll, unless she was worried that it would, like, info would get out that she was Amy. So, in just my opinion, it's not confirmed, but I think this is the most likely path. But only time will tell. We'll see if this ages amazingly or terribly. Now, as for that Jakks Pacific 4-pack, it could also be Rouge, Robotnik, or even a smaller character who simply doesn't have a figure already. Actually, come to think about it, it could be Super Sonic and Super Shadow, and that's why they don't want to say it. While Super Sonic has been seen before, if they include that it's Super Sonic, it's like, okay, well, then it's obvious the other character is Super Shadow. Now, moving on, here's a fun little tidbit that's something I'm excited to see on screen in Sonic Movie 3. So, Lee Majtaub, aka Agent Stone, said his craziest acting experience so far in his career was in Sonic Movie 3, which, with how things ended in Sonic 2, you already know Stone's going to have a bigger role, and more Stone means more shenanigans, something I'm here for. We love a little Stone shenanigans, don't we, folks? Now, this is a big deal because Agent Stone has been a fan favorite since the first film, providing comic relief and being the perfect sidekick to Jim Carrey's Dr. Robotnik. His increased presence in Sonic 2 showed us that the filmmakers know exactly what we love about the character. Maybe we'll see him stepping out of Robotnik's shadow and causing some chaos of his own. And with us not even knowing if Jim Carrey was going to return until like a few months ago, and we still haven't even seen him, it's very possible Agent Stone will be the de facto villain after this, and they're going to build him up in this movie, because we know for sure Jim Carrey is definitely done after this one. And that's not a spoiler. He's literally done with acting. He's just coming back for these movies. Moving on, let's get into some frankly kind of weird music news. So as most of you probably already know, a while back, Johnny Giolelli from Crush 40, who will respond to literally anyone, confirmed to multiple people via private DMs that Live and Learn will be in the film. But here's the new kicker. Bentley Jones, who sang Dreams of Absolution in Sonic 06 and now seems to spend most of his time focusing on his male stripping career, claimed he was originally going to be featured on Live and Learn in Sonic Movie 3. To which, since he's so easy to contact, Johnny was asked about this and responded saying he never heard about Bentley being involved in the song or in any way. Which, no offense to Bentley, but dude had one song for Sonic in 2006, and he acts like he's a career Sonic artist, but if you think about it, Akon is as much of a Sonic artist as Bentley is, and you don't hear Akon running around going,
"Guys, remember me? I was in Sonic 06, remember? You all loved that game."
Bentley also talks about supposed mistreatment from Sega, but from everything he says in his own words, it appears that the mistreatment and why he feels so upset is that no matter what, they clearly don't want to bring him back around anymore. And with it being a kid's brand, him having only done one song, and his current social presence mostly consisting of him hardly wearing clothing and practicing his stripper dances, then I can totally understand why Sega doesn't want to work with him anymore. And you can even read through his 5-tweet thread about it yourself, and in it, he doesn't give a single specific reason or say any vagaries as to who it even is. He just says, Sega just keeps doing it to me, man. I just keep trying. I just keep loving the fans, man. I'm just trying my best, and it's the Sega's holding me back. Which is like, man, I'm so mad about this. I'm gonna take out this anger on the poll. Maybe if there was some info in it, I could understand and be on his side. But currently, the way this thread is written, it can only appeal to someone who's more emotional than logical. And the whole gimmick about pretending it's for Sonic Movie 3 is so blatant that Johnny even responds, and this is actually epic. But he specifically begins his response with, "Great marketing, Bentley, and I'm honored you chose my song to cover," as well as adding, "Make sure your fans know that your version is not in the movie," which is because of how hard Bentley tried to market this with Sonic Movie 3, and oh lordy, I'm gonna say it, this is a certified Johnny Gialelli W. And for those wondering, there's some bittersweet news here. Not that Bentley's not on the song, that's all good news. The mixed news is it has been reported that I Am All of Me is not in the movie. Sorry to burst your bubble, Johnny Gialelli confirmed it himself, although that would have been sick. Imagine the track playing during Shadow's reveal to the public. Ugh, so cool. Also, before people go in the comments writing, "Sure, no, I Am All of Me, but what about blank song?" However, the only Crush 40 song that's set to appear in this entire movie is Live and Learn. Not that that's bad, I actually think only having one is a good, maybe two, but having like a whole soundtrack of Crush 40, while some Sonic fans would love that, I think that would be a bit too much if you ask me. Now moving on, this next part is an interesting report because normally I don't really care about knowledge of which crew members are working on the project, but this one's actually kind of interesting. And that's because the casting director is a beautiful woman from the UK, meaning yes, a lot of the cast is going to be British, just like in the Knuckles series, but even more so here. So, well, a lot will probably be doing their, best American accent, despite taking place in America. Be ready for a lot of British accents in Sonic 3. In fact, they probably will have to teleport it someplace for it to make sense, because they could get away with it in the Knuckles series, but for a big movie like this, it might be a little bit more weird. Now, why it's actually important is the casting director plays a huge role in shaping the final look and feel of the film. They're responsible for finding the perfect actors who can bring these beloved characters to life. And with a British casting director at the helm, we might see some new talent from the UK making their debut in the Sonic universe. And to be completely honest, it's surprising to me, but British actors aren't even that bad as Sonic characters. I was sweating with Idris Elba, but his Knuckles is totally fine. And with British actors like the guy who plays Rick Grimes, sometimes you just never know. But I just wanted to quickly mention that. Now, moving on to the last, and this is the biggest, I saved the best for last, but this story revolves us finally getting an actual render of Shadow.
Wow.
Which is literally our first real look at movie Shadow in any way, since again, in Sonic Movie 2, the one at the end credits is just a placeholder of a modified Sonic. But now, like fans have requested, he's got sharper, much more serious eyes. He looks exactly like how you'd expect him to look, which is good. His chest hair looks cool and doesn't look too eerie, which is nice. I was a little worried about that. The only thing that's a little odd is he has this subtle blue glow around him, and I would think it's a weird lighting choice, or maybe there's more to it. However, none of the other characters have this, so it's not clear what it is, or if it's like his hero chaos control from the 2005 game, something that might I remind you, this film's director, Jeff Fowler, also worked on. So this may be a visual representation of his chaos energy, or maybe it's something entirely new they cooked up just for the movie. Shadow has always been one of the edgier characters in the Sonic universe, and this new look just amps that up to 11. It's like he's ready to get an arrest record and take the Chaos Emerald at the same time. And those eyes, sharper and far more intense than Sonic's, it's like he's staring into your soul and saying, "You're not ready for what's coming, and that thing is me." So a nice still render of Shadow. Nothing seems off, and I like how they adapted it to be as faithful to the character as possible. Now to just see him actually moving in action. I hope you guys liked that. Like the video if you did. Check out MeUndies if you want some cool, very comfortable underwear. And next video, it's the big investigation. I've been putting it off because it's so much effort, but it's actually happening. That's all. Lots of love and peace. Peace. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. I said all the things. See ya.
Subscribe.